What is DeFi? This now extremely popular buzzword is an abbreviation for the term decentralized finance. And in order to understand what this is, we first need to know what centralized finance is. Now, centralized finance is, of course, an extremely complex network, but the key point is that it works through centralized institutions such as banks. Banks charge interest rates to borrowers and they pay out interest to savers or lenders. And DeFi is basically a way of building this entire network, so lending and borrowing, but not just lending and borrowing, basically the entire financial network on the blockchain in an open, transparent and decentralized way. By doing this, DeFi aims to address two of the main challenges of centralized finance: efficiency and trust. First of all, DeFi protocols can be much more efficient than their centralized counterparts. This is because a DeFi protocol, so basically a computer program on the blockchain, doesn't need to have employees, doesn't need to have office spaces, and it certainly doesn't need to pay for accounting and for mountains of regulatory paperwork. That means that the difference between the lending and borrowing interest rate can be much smaller in the DeFi space. Secondly, using centralized finance means that you basically have to trust that the institution you're using won't go bust. Now, this happens occasionally. It happens with banks and it happens with entire monetary systems. It happens with governments. So it's never a good idea to trust that a bit too much. With DeFi, everything that you're doing takes place through code which is on the blockchain. This means that it's open, transparent, and it means that anyone can audit it. So anyone with the necessary programming knowledge can just take a look at the code and see exactly what the protocol is doing. With all that in mind, it's no surprise that DeFi has become so popular recently. And in the next 3 lessons, we'll go through the main parts of the DeFi ecosystem. So we'll cover decentralized exchanges, lending and borrowing platforms, and the most important risks and precautions that you need to take when using DeFi protocols.